A dream safari can unravel into a nightmare in the blink of an eye. One moment. You're enchanted by the raw, breathtaking beauty of Africa's untamed wilderness. The next, you're plunged into a desperate struggle for survival. From lightning-fast animal attacks to chilling close encounters that defy belief, these are the stories that will haunt your imagination long after the journey ends. Prepare yourself as we unveil 15 harrowing moments when African safari spiraled out of control, forever changing the lives of those who dare to venture into the wild. Stay close. This is a countdown you won't forget. What happens when the line between human curiosity and nature's raw power is crossed? In 2018, near Pretoria, South Africa, that line was shattered with devastating consequences. A young woman on a lion walk, a carefully controlled experience where tourists walk alongside trained lions, stepped beyond the safety boundary. Just outside the fenced area, she paused to take photos, underestimating the unpredictable wildness lurking nearby. Then, without warning, the lioness struck. In a heartbeat, she lunged, dragging the woman to the ground and attacking with lethal force. Despite desperate efforts to save her, the injuries proved fatal. The world was stunned. This was no ordinary attack. It was a stark reminder that beneath even the most managed wildlife encounters, primal instincts remain untamed. Experts say the lioness wasn't malicious. She was simply following her natural predatory drive. No matter how much humans try to control or domesticate wild animals, their instincts cannot be switched off. The tragedy ignited fierce debate about the ethics and safety of lion walks, questioning the wisdom of drawing so close to creatures born to roam free and wild. This heartbreaking event exposes a harsh truth. Nature is never truly tamed. It demands respect, caution, and sometimes painful lessons. So, when you dream of that intimate wildlife encounter, remember, there's always a price for crossing the line. In 2024, what should have been a dream African safari turned into a chilling nightmare for 70-year-old Lisa Manders and her group during a guided bushwalk in Zambia. As they strolled near a seemingly peaceful river, danger erupted without warning. A territorial hippo, lurking just beneath the surface, suddenly charged the group, unleashing a brutal attack that left Lisa seriously injured and everyone shaken to the core. Known as one of Africa's deadliest animals, the hippo's fierce and unpredictable nature turned this tranquil moment into chaos in seconds. Despite the guide's efforts to protect the group, the assault was swift and devastating. The aftermath brought more than physical scars. Lisa's husband, heartbroken and outraged, launched a lawsuit against the safari operator, accusing them of negligence. His claim centers on the operator's failure to properly assess risks and enforce adequate safety measures during such a high-stakes activity. This heartbreaking incident raises critical questions about the responsibility tour companies have in protecting their guests and managing the inherent dangers of close wildlife encounters. While African safaris promise unforgettable thrills, they also demand deep respect for the wild and its unpredictable power. So, before you book that next adventure, ask yourself, is the allure of safari worth the risk of facing nature's fiercest moments head-on? Have you ever chased that perfect wildlife photo, drawn in by the allure of getting close to exotic animals? In 2012, Violet DeMello discovered, in the most brutal way possible, why that temptation can turn deadly. While visiting a sanctuary in Namibia, where cheetahs were said to be trained and comfortable with humans, Violet believed she was stepping into a safe encounter. But safety is a fragile illusion in the wild. As she crouched beside the sleek cats for a photo, everything changed in an instant. One cheetah, sudden and fierce, lunged, its teeth sinking deep into her arm. Screams filled the air. Desperate attempts were made to free her, but the attack didn't stop. The graceful predator transformed into a merciless force, leaving Violet with horrific wounds and trauma that would haunt her long after. Though she survived, the scars, both physical and emotional, ran deep. Her husband's anger over the lack of proper supervision only underscored how dangerously thin the line can be between trust and catastrophe. This wasn't just a tragic accident. It was a harsh lesson in the raw unpredictability of wild animals. Cheetahs, often seen as elegant and calm, carry the heart of a predator. No matter how trained or tame they appear, their instincts can ignite in a heartbeat. Violet's story stands as a chilling warning. When you get too close to the wild, you risk everything. So, when you think about your next safe wildlife encounter, ask yourself, can any animal truly be tamed? The stillness of Africa's waterways can lull you into a false sense of security. But beneath that calm, danger often waits unseen. In 2024, British tourist Roland Cherry discovered this terrifying truth firsthand during a canoe safari on Zambia's Zambezi River. At 63, Roland set out to soak in the serene beauty of the river, unaware that a colossal force was about to turn his peaceful journey into a nightmare. Without warning, a massive hippopotamus, one of Africa's most territorial and deadly giants, lunged at his canoe with unimaginable power. The impact was brutal, capsizing the vessel and hurling Roland into the water. Before he could even grasp what was happening, the hippo seized him in its crushing jaws and dragged him beneath the surface, tossing him like a rag doll in a violent underwater struggle. Survival seemed impossible, but with sheer determination and every ounce of strength, Roland fought to break free, finally escaping the hippo's deadly grip. Though badly wounded, he reached safety, his body marked by deep wounds, his mind scarred forever by the raw brutality of that encounter. Hippos may look peaceful, but they are Africa's deadliest large animals, claiming more human lives than lions or elephants. Their immense strength and volatile temperament turn any provocation into a deadly risk. Roland's harrowing story is a stark warning. No matter how prepared you think you are, nature's wild unpredictability can shatter even the safest moments. After hearing this, would you dare to drift once more through those tranquil waters? Giraffes, majestic, graceful, and often seen as a gentle giant of the African savanna. But in 2018, British scientist Katie Williams discovered a chilling truth. These towering creatures can unleash terrifying power when provoked. While immersed in fieldwork studying giraffe behavior in South Africa, Katie faced a sudden and brutal attack that would forever change her perspective on wildlife. At first, the giraffe seemed calm, almost indifferent to her presence. Then, without warning, it charged, striking her with legs that packed the force of a freight train. The impact sent her crashing to the ground, where the massive hooves trampled her mercilessly. Broken bones, deep bruises, and life-threatening injuries followed. Yet somehow, Katie survived this savage encounter. Her survival was nothing short of miraculous. But the experience left her with an unshakable respect for the unpredictable instincts that lie beneath the serene surface of even the most seemingly docile animals. Giraffes, weighing over 2,000 pounds, are capable of incredible aggression when threatened or cornered, reminding us that wild nature is never to be underestimated. Katie's story is a stark warning. Beauty can mask danger, and up close with these giants, the line between awe and peril is razor thin. So, after hearing what happened to her, would you still feel safe stepping into the world of these silent, powerful creatures? Imagine this. You're immersed in the serene beauty of Cape Point, South Africa, a place where sweeping ocean views meet the call of wild creatures. It's supposed to be a peaceful escape, a moment to soak in nature's grandeur. But in 2016, that calm shattered in an instant. A group of tourists gathered for a quiet picnic suddenly found themselves under siege, not by a predator lurking in the shadows, but by a troop of aggressive baboons. These weren't the curious, playful primates you might expect. Fueled by boldness and surprising speed, they launched a swift attack, snatching food and sparking chaos. Panic erupted as the tourists scrambled to defend themselves, some left with injuries that no one anticipated. The park's wildlife officials rushed in, but the damage was done, a vivid reminder that even the most tranquil safari moments can turn volatile without warning. This incident at Cape Point ignited heated debates about how to manage wildlife in areas where humans and animals intersect so closely. It exposed a hard truth. Nature doesn't negotiate. And while Cape Point remains a beloved destination, the attack serves as a cautionary tale. How quickly a dream safari can turn into a nightmare. Yet, amidst the fear and turmoil, some who lived through it reflect back with a strange sense of awe. For them, the adrenaline, the rawness of the encounter, became a defining memory, a story of survival in the wild's unpredictable theater. So, when you picture your next safari, Ask yourself, how far would you go to face the wild's true power? In 2015, what began as an exhilarating safari deep in South Africa's iconic Kruger National Park swiftly descended into chaos and terror. A leopard, stealthy, powerful, and wild, suddenly lunged into an open safari vehicle, turning a routine wildlife viewing into a desperate fight for survival. The guide, caught completely off guard, became the target of the leopard's fierce attack. Teeth sank into his arm with brutal force, sending shock waves of panic through the group. As the scene erupted into confusion and fear, the only way to stop the mauling was swift and lethal. A park ranger fired, bringing the leopard's rampage to an end. Though gravely injured, the guide survived, his story forever etched as a chilling reminder of the razor-thin line between awe and danger on safari. Kruger National Park is celebrated worldwide for its stunning wildlife encounters, but this incident exposed the raw unpredictability lurking behind every majestic moment. Even in the safest seeming settings, nature's wild instincts can explode without warning. So, after hearing this harrowing tale, would you still feel safe in an open vehicle mere feet from the wild? Or has this story forever shifted how you see the fragile balance between adventure and risk in the heart of the wild? Out on the vast, winding Zambezi River, tranquility can vanish in an instant, replaced by sheer terror. In 1996, safari guide Paul Temper faced this brutal reality when a seemingly peaceful canoe trip spiraled into a nightmare he would never forget. As Paul led a group through the shimmering waters, a silent menace lurked beneath the surface, one of Africa's most formidable creatures, the hippopotamus. Without warning, the hippo exploded from the riverbank, charging their canoe with devastating force. Known for their territorial rage, hippos are some of the deadliest animals on the continent, but nothing could prepare Paul for the ferocity of this attack. The massive beast struck with lightning speed, flipping the canoe and hurling Paul into the water. In the chaos that followed, the hippo's jaws clamped down, mauling him savagely before finally retreating into the depths. Paul's arm was severed in the brutal assault, a loss that marked only the beginning of his ordeal. Though he survived against staggering odds, the physical wounds were matched by the emotional scars of that day, a stark reminder that nature's raw power is never to be underestimated. Hippos may seem calm as they float beneath the surface, but their unpredictable aggression and incredible speed, faster than a human on land, make them silent killers of the wild. Paul's survival story is a testament to human resilience, yet also serves as a chilling warning. What looks like a serene canoe safari can turn deadly in the blink of an eye. So ask yourself, knowing the dangers lurking beneath, would you still dare to glide through those waters? Because when it comes to the wild, the line between adventure and survival is razor thin. Crossing a river on safari might sound like a simple adventure, but in 2016, a tourist in Botswana's Okavango Delta discovered just how deadly that moment can become. As he waded through the shallow waters, completely unaware, a Nile crocodile, one of Africa's most lethal predators, waited silently beneath the surface. Known for their lightning-fast strikes and immense power, these reptiles launched a brutal surprise attack, clamping down on the tourist's leg and dragging him beneath the water. The sudden violence turned what should have been a peaceful crossing into a desperate fight for survival. Luckily, quick action from nearby guides and companions pulled him from the jaws of death, but not without leaving him with serious injuries. This terrifying encounter serves as a stark warning. Crocodiles are far from distant dangers. They are stealthy, ruthless, and always ready to strike when you least expect it. So, after hearing this chilling story, would you still risk crossing a river in crocodile territory? Or does the thought of what lurks beneath the water make you reconsider the true risks of exploring Africa's wild places? Imagine being on a safari, soaking in the beauty of the African wilderness, when suddenly everything flips in an instant. That's exactly what happened in 2020 to two tourists cruising through Kenya's Masai Mara. Their peaceful game drive turned into a nightmare when a massive buffalo, one of Africa's most unpredictable and aggressive creatures, charged their safari vehicle with terrifying force. Without any warning, the buffalo slammed into the vehicle, throwing the tourists violently inside. The impact was brutal, instantly transforming what should have been a calm wildlife experience into a chaotic fight for survival. Though part of Africa's Big Five and often mistaken for calm giants, Buffaloes are fiercely territorial and can become dangerously aggressive when they feel threatened or trapped. These tourists were incredibly lucky to walk away alive, but this terrifying encounter exposes a harsh truth. No matter how carefully planned a safari is, nature's raw power can strike without notice. When you're that close to wild animals who own the land, safety is never guaranteed. So, after hearing about this heart-stopping buffalo charge, would you still be eager to get up close on your next safari? Or has this story reshaped how you see the real risks lurking in the wild? African safaris promise breathtaking views and close encounters with majestic creatures, but sometimes the wild reminds us just how unpredictable and dangerous it can be. In Botswana's Okavango Delta, a serene wildlife tour took a heart-stopping turn when a seemingly calm bull elephant suddenly charged a safari vehicle. The group of tourists was quietly admiring the massive elephant from what they thought was a safe distance. But in an instant, the giant creature's demeanor shifted. With ears flared and trunk raised in warning, the elephant unleashed its raw power, crashing against a vehicle and sending it trembling under the force of the charge. Caught completely off guard, the tourists could only watch in stunned silence as the colossal animal pushed and rocked their ride. Thankfully, no serious injuries occurred, but the incident was a chilling lesson. Behind their gentle facade, elephants are fiercely protective and can strike with terrifying speed when they feel threatened. This encounter stands as a powerful reminder. In the wild, respect for nature's unpredictable spirit is the only true safeguard. Would you still feel brave enough to face such raw power on your next safari? Camping in Zimbabwe's Wang National Park should be peaceful, but in 2015, one camper's night turned into a terrifying ordeal. As darkness settled, a hyena slipped silently into their tent and launched a savage attack, shattering the calm of the African wilderness. Often dismissed as mere scavengers, hyenas are actually fierce hunters with crushing jaws, capable of inflicting serious damage. Drawn perhaps by the scent of food or the camper's presence, this hyena struck without warning while its victim was fast asleep. The camper was quickly overpowered, suffering severe injuries before the chaos and intervention from other campers and staff finally scared the predator away. Though lucky to survive, the physical wounds left deep emotional scars, a harsh reminder of the risks that come with camping in the wild. This shocking incident exposes the hidden dangers lurking even in supposedly safe campsites. Africa's wildlife roams freely, and predators like hyenas, clever and unpredictable, are always on the lookout. So after hearing this story, would you still feel safe camping under the stars? Or does the thought of sharing your tent with such a cunning predator give you pause? Kruger National Park, a jewel of South Africa's wilderness, draws visitors from around the world eager to witness its incredible wildlife. But for one young tourist in 2016, what should have been an unforgettable adventure quickly turned into a chilling nightmare. While camping with his family deep inside the park, a terrifying encounter with one of Africa's most feared predators, the hyena, changed everything. As the night fell and the bush hummed with nature's sounds, the boy slept unaware of the danger creeping close. Suddenly, excruciating pain jolted him awake. A hyena had slipped into their tent and launched a brutal attack, sinking its powerful jaws into the boy's face. He later described the sickening, crunching noise as if the predator was crushing chips beneath its teeth, a horrifying sound that echoed the terror of those moments. His frantic screams roused his family and nearby park rangers, who rushed in just in time to drive the hyena away. Though the boy survived, the attack left deep wounds, both physical and emotional, that required extensive medical care. This shocking incident is a harsh reminder. Even inside what feels like a secure campsite, danger lurks in unexpected forms. Hyenas may be seen as scavengers, but they are fierce, intelligent hunters capable of sudden, violent attacks. It's a stark lesson in respecting the wild's unpredictability. No matter how safe we think we are, on a safari, you expect to admire wildlife from a safe distance, but sometimes nature rewrites the rules in the blink of an eye. That's exactly what happened in 2020 in Tanzania's Serengeti National Park, where a routine tracking mission turned into a nightmare when a safari guide was gored by a black rhino. The guide was part of a team carefully following these massive, territorial creatures on foot, aiming to observe them without disturbance. But black rhinos, known for their fierce and unpredictable temperament, don't hesitate when they feel threatened. Without warning, one charged with terrifying speed, catching the guide completely off guard. The rhino's powerful horn struck with brutal force, leaving the guide seriously injured and fighting for his life. Thankfully, swift emergency response and quick thinking saved him, turning what could have been a fatal attack into a story of survival. This shocking event exposes the daily dangers faced by those who work closest to wild animals. While tracking on foot offers an intimate glimpse into the heart of the wilderness, it also comes with risks no safari brochure ever advertises. So, knowing the true danger of an unexpected rhino charge, would you still choose to venture into wild on foot for that unforgettable experience? Or does the reality of such a sudden, violent attack make you think twice? Gorilla trekking deep in Uganda's Bwindi impenetrable forest is often called one of the most thrilling wildlife experiences on Earth. Amidst the thick, misty jungle, visitors get a rare chance to witness the majestic power of silverback gorillas in their natural home. But in 2019, what began as a peaceful adventure suddenly spiraled into chaos when a territorial silverback charged at a group of tourists, shocking everyone present. The day started like any other. A group of eager trekkers, guided by seasoned experts, carefully navigating the dense forest. They knew the rules: stay calm, move slowly, and respect the gorilla space. Yet, even with all the precautions, nature's unpredictability struck. One silverback, sensing a threat to his family or territory, erupted in a sudden charge. The raw power of these giants is almost unimaginable, strong, fast, and fiercely protective. Startled by the group's movements, the gorilla's aggression was swift and overwhelming. Injuries were sustained, but thanks to the quick thinking of the guides, the situation was contained before it escalated further. This incident is a powerful reminder that gorillas, despite their often gentle nature, are wild animals with instincts to defend what they hold dear. So after hearing this, would you still dare to trek into Bwindi's mysterious depths, or does a memory of that sudden charge give you pause? If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next adventure